I'm not going to make you listen to that weird part again. Yeah, that part. No, I actually thought I edited that part out. I didn't like that one part. What are we looking at here? Wow, I thought I had it open. So now you know that I never am 100% spot on. Hi there. Already seeing some chatters. And that's what I did today. I want to thank my new subs after the Jimmy interview. By the way, there's no webcam. I don't have to show my face right now. I'm going to double check the sound, though. I got to check a couple things before I rely too much. Let's see this over here. Wait, where's that? Oh, okay. Try that. Over here. Wait, where's that? Okay, we'll put that over here. Okay. Try that. And I guess pause it again, or maybe we'll just turn down the volume so I can make sure everything looks the same on the broadcast. There we are, looking at the map. And Rome Dog, hi, how you doing? And thank you for joining. And Apocalypsis, did I say that correctly? Creation in the Universe. Yeah, I had to do a live stream. I couldn't sit around anymore. I wanted to do a nice, well-produced, long video that's uploaded and not live stream, because we know how I get when I live stream. But unfortunately, I'm taking so much time. So I decided, let's do a live stream, and there's my phone. And see, that's what happens when you do live streams, right? We'll do a live stream, and we'll we'll answer any questions anybody has since that interview the other day. How you doing, Werner? I'm probably gonna mess up some names. Andy Oppression. I'll sometimes show this, what I see. So don't troll me, or I'll just delete you. I'm watching you. Yeah, so I used to get a lot of, not trolls, but pop-ups, like spammers. But here we are looking at the Sahara Desert, and everybody knows now that I went there to the... Oh, thank you, Dirk. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. You've been around several years, right? And that's the thing. Ever since Jimmy came out that 2019 Herodotus Castle video, and then Josh went, right? But guess what Josh didn't do? Josh didn't go to the castle, and neither did Archaic Lens. I was really mad. I was like, "Wah!" So I went there, and it wasn't as expensive as you might think. Somebody said, you never said the price. Well, I guess if you want to know how much I spent too much. But if you want to know how much it costs to get to this castle, I would say you could probably fly to Nouakchott for $1,500 is what I paid, but it's gone up about $2,000, maybe $2,500. I don't know the prices right now, but what you can do is then go over to, I know the guy that rents trucks. Talk to me if you want my guy. And it's a rental, and it comes with a driver, and it costs about, I went, Bro Dirk watched you live, like one of the 10, what? I didn't get that. I didn't understand that. And then the first Aquaman movie came out. Yeah, Atlantis is in the Sahara, right. Well, I remember the Disney. Wait, the well, you say Aquaman, but I remember I get a lot of Disney viewers want to see my videos. I can see it in the analytics. All right, well, let me stay on a point here because I'm just trying to think of things I didn't say in the interview. I am on Twitter. Let me open up that Twitter. Was messing around on Jimmy's Twitter because he put the thing up. Let me not get into too many. There's Josh, right? Let's go back. Josh runs World Alternative Media. He was the guy that went straight to the Richat structure right after Jimmy's first video, right? To click on the what? Click on the live? Oh yeah, please do click that like. Let's see how strong I am. 5 thumbs up right now. Please click the like. Let's see some action. Now I have 3,000. Let me get out of here. But yeah, Josh Sergeson went to the Richat structure. He got there. I was so jealous. Thank you for that click. We'll see. Okay, so there's creation in the universe. And by the way, he's been helping me with my shorts. And he's the one who just told me to ask people to go live. So go check out my Twitter. His Twitter is creation and the universe, right? My Twitter is Stig Up. I wanted to go to Jimmy's Twitter because I guess I can probably do both, right? Let's go to Jimmy's just because I know what's waiting for me there. And it wasn't that one. It was the one with me in it. There I am. Yeah, that was it. And click on the messages. We got a few things that I didn't show during the live stream with Jimmy. Got to find it. So this was one of them. I was looking for this. I know where it's at. It's in Czech, but I wanted to find this exact one, and it just wasn't happening. So this is what I was talking about when I said geometrically scarred or carved or cut plateaus. Why? I think they're breaking the material up for some reason. They've got these plateaus. They wanted it. They were building up maybe a mound of slurry. See my video on slurry? They were doing a mound cut up. I don't know why, but then later on, I think later civilizations will also quarry that. And that's why what I showed you next to the Richat structure was so weird. And I can show you that again, just really quick. We have quarries. One is here where I'm pointing. That's the one that I do believe Randall Carlson was talking about back when he did that video that I imitated. Creation in the universe. I know that you told me to copy Randall like that is a little bit weird, but I'm telling you, some people loved it. I got a lot of compliments about my impression. Okay, and up here, this thing is the giant. I named it the Giant's Quarry, and these are the things I'm talking about. These types of quarries. I mean, I don't know how tall those are, but I can tell you that if that's a road right there, we do know how wide they are. How wide is a car? I mean, cars usually aren't 8 foot wide, but because they fit in a container, right? So usually they're about 6 foot wide. So you could say that that's a 6 foot wide line. I mean, I can measure it, but I just want to say these stones are giant. So I call it the Giant's Quarry. But I also showed the one area out here. You can see it already right there. And it's 6 miles long of these carved stones. So that's not it. That's another part that has the same parallel lines. I'm talking about this area right here. You can see it from here. Take a look at all those. I know that some of them are more modern day, but they are definitely parallel lines. So I probably should have put a better thumbnail of the Richat structure because I think most of you want to know about the Richat structure. So I haven't had any questions. I've got a lot of comments, and I thank you. And I thank you for the thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, I do thank you for that as well. I'm 10.4, so we're celebrating. I got to thank Jimmy for hooking me up with the shout out and the guest appearance. Let's no questions asked. Okay, so a lot of you, I recognize you. Storm Run Gaming, hello. Dirk Jensen, for years. You even have a wrench. And I haven't passed out wrenches in a long time. So get them trolls. On the interview, I was starting from right to left, but I had to show the shoreline on the north side here. One thing I didn't really get into was this line here. It's so straight. In fact, I like to look at it under satellites.pro. Satellites.pro. You're mad at Google Earth. Yeah, they changed it, didn't they? Was able to zoom into this region and see very detailed stuff, and now it's all distorted and has bad graphics. Yes. What part are you talking about? For me, it's always the same. Over here by the corner of the eye. Let's zoom in here. This always zooms in a little too fast. Look at that right there. Okay. If you look at it like that, now I can measure that. It's 35 miles long. Let's start about here and try to go next to it and stop about there. That's only 21 miles, but it kind of seems to go a little farther for some reason. You can see something was going on. I kind of see mountains, so it's kind of a straight line. Yes, there's some type of a glitch here. There's two reasons that could have happened. Hey, Gordogo. Hi, Shinobi. Or is it Shinobi? I speak Chinese, but my Japanese is non-existent. Welcome. So getting around this corner is a question, but when you back out again, honestly, you don't really see around the corner because that's right here, but you see the straight line is right there. So that's just a little tiny thing. Maybe it was a landslide or something, and then you had this over here. And I am trying to say, if we look here at this north shore of the Adrar Plateau, and I do believe there was a big old body of water in here. We did have the Tamanrasset River up here at the other side of it, way up here. There it is, about right here. It went that way. So there was a water matrix of water, but I kind of think there was some type of a cut through right there. And look how long that is. I mean, including this part, it's about 31 miles. Now, there's a big mystery. I don't claim to know it all. And I want to make it clear. I don't really think much about isostatic rebound. But when you look over here, and I call this Manhattan, thanks Delia, Michelle Shun, way back in the day. She's probably not even watching this. She was the one who pointed out first 5 years ago. She was doing all sorts of research. She showed me a lot of stuff. And I kind of ignored this part. And then Delia brought it back. And I'm like, whoa, I can tell you the name of this thing. It's there's two names. One is Dar, D-H-A-R. One is Imiert, I-M-I-E-R-T, I think. And this is a really weird one because, like I said, I claim that I believe there was a body of water right here. There's the shoreline. There's the evaporated playa. But on this side of it, I don't have a lot of explanation for why this has a shoreline because I don't see how water could have been contained in this area to push it up another 1,000 feet. So, Emir, and by the way, the whole top of that thing has been worked. Now, Delia thought it looked like it was a city, but I do believe maybe there was a city on top of it, but it looks to me like it's been worked and scrubbed. So, this is called the White Valley, the White, not wide, and I drove past there and took a picture, so you may see that video. The White Valley looks like it's a big old canal or something too. So that's why I believe there was maybe a body of water here as well. And that's a big mystery because where's the wall that held it in? So that's gone. Well, yeah. And by the way, I said to Jimmy that there's a few things we disagree about. And what I think we're seeing here is mainly, okay. So what I can agree with is out here. Look at those straight lines. Okay, now these straight lines, I've done a video about this. I'm already going off the topic, right? I'm already going all over. So you know I'm Mr. Shotgun. It's important that you ask questions. Oh, I'll read it in a second. Maybe someone just did. But these straight lines, too straight to be sand dunes and too straight to be the bottom of water. But look, when you get closer, I don't know, I'd like to see, but I believe there's some bedrock under there making those straight lines. This is a bizarre thing. In fact, I rarely look at this under satellites.pro. Look how straight they are. I was going to go to about here and say, yeah, the sand looks like it used to host water. That's not the one. Funny thing is that when you do zoom in, you find these little ecosystems going on. And I sometimes wonder if you could just go out there and claim one of these little areas. You definitely need the water, though. Okay. Let's go. What crest? I'm going to read the question, but I see the last one, Rome. What crest? Oh, you mean the straight lines? Because I'm so scatterbrained, please ask your question as if I'm going to forget what I was talking about. Let me go up a little bit. I thought I saw a question before that. Have I seen other weird mining operations currently in Africa? Yeah, all over the place. Found one mountain range that had a strange red ore. Okay, so with this, you can always copy that right there. Or if you're doing Google Earth, you can copy the whole thing. Sometimes they may stop the chat. So I think the best thing to do is grab these numbers right here and I can plug it in. Or if you can figure out a way to share it, like, for example, right click, and get info, I guess. And there it is right there. And you can copy and paste it, I think, right there. Yeah, copied. That's one of the better things about it. But I'm really pissed off at this thing. If I want to go north, I can't just click this anymore. No, I can't click it. I got to do this now. Okay. So that I don't like. Let me look at it again. So yeah, I've seen them all over the place. I'd like to see the one you're referring to let you know if I've seen it before, because Africa is a big place with 54 countries. Exposure with big operation. I don't know if it was maybe a computer artifact. Okay, if you're going to ask me a question like this, you probably should give me a coordinate. So please do, and I'll take a look at it live. Storm run gaining thinks the whole area is covered with water. You said, I heard you, I read that already. Yeah, zoom way in as well. Zoom way in. Especially way out here, right? Like if you get out here, and that's another thing. This is also a shoreline, and so this is lower than that. But when you come out here, you do see that water ripple effect, right? It looks like you're looking at the bottom of your fish tank, and that's one thing that I didn't make clear to Jimmy, that I do believe there's water everywhere. I don't know why or how, and maybe that ocean was this. Maybe there was isostatic rebound that pushed it down. That's possible too. You know, I don't think that happened at 12,000, or let's just round up to 13,000 years ago. Let's look at these comments. I don't mind doing this and going to the beginning. There's probably no questions here. I didn't see any. Oh, here's one. Yeah, okay, we read that. Atlantis in the Sahara. By the way, I'm going to try to keep this at 30 minutes. So I'm going to start getting a little rattled if I go towards an hour for sure. I can talk for 90 minutes. I've done 2 hours. It's not a problem. Test me. I was born in San Francisco, frankly. You have the last name, so I wonder if you can speak Chinese. Lee is Lee is actually quite a common name in the United States for non-Chinese people, so I shouldn't assume you're Chinese. And usually, I think well, depends. And you are from San Francisco, so, and your English is perfect. So let's see. Did the flood of the Great Sahara Ocean that doomed Atlantis also make Cape Verde Islands? Yeah, right down here. I don't know if it created that. Let's talk about that real quick. But before I do, I don't want to sound cringy with the comments about your name. 我会讲中文，你要跟我讲中文吗？就可以了。So I only do it because I speak Chinese. So I really do care. Like people, when I say, where are you from, they get really mad at me. Let's answer that question. So you're talking about, did the cataclysm create these islands here? Now, when you look at this Dakar Point, remember where it came from. And by the way, those little lines right here, this is the ancient shoreline. So when the water levels rose, they went from here to here. So you can see the ancient shorelines. And it's funny because Randall was showing him about here. He was including this little hill. And I wouldn't do that because I believe the shoreline, the water was covering that hill. So, sorry, Randall. So Dakar has this hard, strong piece of bedrock that's still sticking there, right? And yeah, those lines represent ancient, I believe those were ancient rivers coming off there. And that means that one came from this side, one came from that side. I could be wrong, but you can see that up here too, right here. That is representative of the ancient Paleo-Taman Reset River. And that's the shoreline. So when I point here and say the water came from here, no, it really didn't. When the waters rose, before the waters rose. Oh, it's a play on words. Oh my God. So you don't speak Chinese. All right, cool. Let me just finish my thought. Very difficult for me. Oh yeah, it's right there. Do you see that? That's the ancient Taman Reset River's effect on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. So you know that that's pre-cataclysm. And so all this silt was already there. Now, I'm not saying that there ain't stuff out here, but if you know me, you know that I believe that an impact destroyed the Richat, Atlantis. Okay, so let's answer Frankly's question, though. So this actually started where? It started way out here. You can see the mid-Atlantic, what do we call that again? I forgot. Not a trench? Yeah, okay, it's a trench, kind of. Ridge. That's what we call it, right? The ridge. But it's really kind of not a ridge. But you can see the divergence starting here. Spain came from here. Up here came from here. And yeah, that's a good reason to say the Azores was Atlantis if you believe it was I mean, I don't go back that far. But you see all these lines here, and you can see what dragged. There's Dakar, and there's this line that drags from here. I don't think that's the line. I think it's over here, right there. I think that's where that came from. It dragged all the way across here, this big, huge point. Maybe something happened. Maybe a cataclysm happened. I say there because I believe that this hook is this hook. I believe that this spot and that right there is Dakar, maybe. Maybe that's Dakar. That right there. I was wrong when I pointed down there. So there we go. So because of that, this must have been some kind of a disconnect when it happened. So I don't believe that that was from a cataclysm, but who knows? You know, I'm not going to tell you, oh, I know exactly what happened. Okay, Frankly, thank you for that. Let's see if we can... Wow, I think I'm losing it. There's that question. So Michael Tellinger has some good videos of huge numbers of structures in Africa. Rob Sipes. Yeah, but what he doesn't do is he ignores what... I wasn't able to get into this. Now, he talks about Adam's calendar, and Adam's calendar is right here. You can just zoom right into it, and you can see it. They actually... Wait, where... Uh-oh, I got lost. Hold on. I think it's... Oh, it's right there. So that's Adam's calendar, and when you get the... everything marked on it, which is here, it's already marked. You don't see a marking. Somebody had it removed. That's a good question why they had it removed. Now, if you want to know how to get here, and I can show you something else real quick. First, let's back out, and I'll talk about South Africa has two landlocked countries. One is called Eswatini, and of course, there's Lesotho. By the way, props to who can remember the old name. Eswatini is kind of more of a new name. What did they used to call this? Okay, I forgot myself, so if I hear it, I'll know you're right. So when you go to Eswatini and you take a line that touches the left side and take a line that touches the top, you go to about here. Well, it's not right there. If you go up, you can kind of see this little thing. I think it kind of looks like New Jersey, and that's like a plateau. Now let's go to the photos, and I'll show you one photo I really like. It's right here. So this little plateau is not Adam's calendar, and that is, so wait, something happened. Okay, so that photo is from Adam's calendar. So there's Adam's calendar. I'm not saying that's I'm not going to make any comments about these stones. I've never been there. Over here, you can get a shot of that. Where's the photo? There it is. There it is. I hope that's it. Or no, maybe it's oh, I know what it is. That's it. So there's Adam's calendar over there across this gully. Okay, I know Michael Tellinger's work. Let me show you something else. Michael Tellinger focuses on the stone sculptures, but he's not talking about the stuff that's much bigger. Wait, let me find the recent work. Where is it? Up here, stone circles. We can have some fun. First, let me turn these photos off. And then let's have some fun. Somebody was very kind and gave me their, I can't remember their name right now, but props to them. Okay, what's happening? I want to go there. What's going on? Why won't, okay. Do I have to, okay, I forgot how to do it. Where are they? Okay, first another thing we need to do is turn off this other stuff. Get it cleaned up. Clean. Okay, so we can see the markings here. I don't know why I didn't zoom back and forth. I thought I had it. This is a big little complex here. There's stone circles everywhere. But these are small compared to what I've seen. Let's look at a couple more, and then I'll show you what I think is more megalithic. I mean, the stone circles obviously had a function, and I'm not going to diss him. I have his book. I'd like to get a signature in it. There's another one there. You can barely see these. Look him up and look for his book, and you'll see some better pics. I mean, these are some that this viewer just sent. That's pretty good. Okay, but they're ignoring the big stuff. And by the way, when I backed out of there, I can see these lines right here. See that line right there? See that? Don't tell me that's modern, because they go all over the place. I think there might be some association with Terra Preta. But you know what else you can see? You can see the volcanic dikes that are here, 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 and here. Now, let's not get too deep into this right now, but I do believe we can say that there's a fair share of these volcanic dikes. And yes, I promised somebody else to click on my other thing, which is the lines in South Africa. Oh, they're down here. Okay, so yeah, that's another thing. These are all focused up here by Eswatini and Adam's calendar. There's Adam's calendar. I can see it already. And so, yeah, there's a lot of these stone circles. But down by Lesotho, I've got a lot of ancient roads / dikes around here. And let's not talk about this weird stuff right here. You can see these little circles. I'm going to write a book called The Mountain Builders. Yeah, if you think I'm crazy, that's cool. All right, let's get into these questions. Let's see who else asked some questions. And I see that there's a couple of coordinates. Hope I don't break your heart when I tell you I don't think it's anything. Wow. Well, you know, it seems like Aquaman was... I'm sorry, Renegade. I'm not going to pay too much attention to that question. So I'm going to just say that... I don't know. All of the above? Barnacle Boy, no. Maybe none of the above. I don't know. So Michael Tellinger, I want to call him out for not talking about the big structures. Let's go to the next question. Thank you, Storm Run. Yes, rebound pushed it up. And then water levels. Yeah, because what happens is when the ice sheets melted, it took pressure off that part of the globe, so it allowed for rebound. That's the theory, right? Okay, let's take a look at this one right here. Can I copy it and hope it works? And hopefully it doesn't go to a porn site. Let's try this out. And hope it works, because there's a lot of times it doesn't. So it looks like it's working. Let's get rid of this South Africa stuff. But as you know, I've done a lot of videos. You can go check them out. Okay, that looks like a damn star fort. Yeah, I think I've seen that before. Wow, that's interesting. Where was that? Let's back out a little bit. Nice. Yeah, very, very cool. I think I've seen that for some reason. I don't know why I would, because it's a very small desert. But I have been in this area. So that's up by the Atlas Mountains, right? Oh, God, I hate that. I got to figure out a better way. Okay. Anyways, it's just a click too many. Oh, and I lost the thing. Let's go. Let's get it back. All right. So is that the red stuff you were talking about? Let's get where I can see the comments. Anis, I don't know how you pronounce that. Anis. I want to look at all your comments together. Not really the Algerian part. I think that's more likely Morocco, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's go up here. Hey there. David, happy to see you here. What was that other guy? I thought there was another guy who was asking for something, and it was similar to your name, but I guess not. Anyways, let's see your other questions together. And that was it. Oh, here's another one. Okay, we'll check that in a second. That's not the same one, is it? Is that the same one? Let's just, yeah, it looks like it's the same one. So, oh, it's called the Nasania pentagram? I didn't know it had a name. Is that the same one? Okay, good. Let's look at it. And then I'm going to go to another question. I do want to just stick around for a half hour, and we're already at a half hour. So, get your questions up. Okay, that's so interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely has 5 points. Definitely. That's awesome. Yeah, I have seen that before, and now it's so important, I think, that I'm going to put it over here on my Was This Atlantis page. Better get to know the Was This Atlantis page, because I can't be clicking on that right now. Let me switch over the identity, and then I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in here. I love that. I'm going to put that right here. And what I usually do, but I probably shouldn't spend too much time doing it right now, is I usually grab a screenshot of it, including, because you know what? One platform always messes you up, right? And takes away, like YouTube playlists, right? They always make your songs disappear when they're deleted, and you're like, "Ooh, I missed that." Okay, oopsie daisy. Let me go back and grab that this part one more time. So I put those both here for you, so you can always go into this Facebook page called facebook.com/whasthisatlantis, and you can check out the stuff. Now, I was kind of joking with that last picture that's down here in the bottom right. Oh, and sometimes it does this and it won't post till I click something. All right, let's get back to it. I can always go through the Was This Atlantis page and do 3 hours. Let's take a look at some of these other structures that are similar to it. They're just so bizarre, you know? And another thing you can do is, this is a good time to see what's known about it. There is this thing, it's Arabic. And then we can see maybe there's some pictures here. And we can get some from the ground pictures, and that's always nice, right? We have 3 pictures. I love sunsets, but unfortunately they don't really help when we're looking at these pictures are kind of useless. And then the other thing we can do is look at the photo sphere, which is right here. See if anybody's actually posted personal photos. And I don't see that. And I'm going to turn the photos off because they get on my nerves. So this is very strange stuff. And why is it a different color? Why is it protruding? I don't know if it's... I mean, we can also use the topography map. I think we better get off this one, though. I kind of... see, I'm going crazy, right? Going crazy. There's a topography map, and I think after I'll check that out. But I'd want to now probably wrap this up. You know, nobody super chats me. My money changed from $10 a month to $40 a month, so I can at least thank you guys for that. So now I can live off $40 a month. Let's look at a question I haven't read yet. Can you speak further on the possible canals around Botswana? Oh yeah, he wants me to go to what we call the Kalahari canals. Thank you for that heart. And by the way, let's talk about these lines right here in Mali. Let's talk about the lines I just showed you here using this other map. What happened? There. All these straight lines are very bizarre to me. A lot of people think I'm crazy. Oh, yeah, that's it. Swaziland. Thank you, Rome Dog. Thank you, Rome Dog. I was forgetting that. You win. You win Swaziland. You got it. You take the whole country. Yeah. So where are we? These I kind of want to go in, and do you see any outcrops breaking through? You really don't. So those mainstream media says they're sand dunes, and I can't argue with that. But if you go over to, where were we? Google Earth, and that's where that was. But we're going to go down here to this area. You also see those weird lines, and I don't want to get too deep here, but they do kind of, to me, look like the Kalahari canals. And they seem like, I'm not sure where I'm looking, they have bedrock sticking through, like it was actually a canal that was not a sand dune. Okay, but you were asking me about the ones near Botswana, and those are down here. Botswana's here, Namibia's here, Angola's here, and Zambia is there. There's a lot of stuff going on in Namibia, and I wouldn't mind going there for a trip. And it's also, while we're there, going to Cape Cross, was it? Can't remember. I don't want to zoom in over there, but there's a bunch of guys that save seals from plastic that's wrapped around their heads and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. So I would love to go there, lose 10 pounds running down the beach catching seals for these guys. 250,000 square miles. If I put a line around it, you see these lines up here, you see them over here. Okay, they're not just a perfect square. You see them down here. These are called the Kalahari canals. They don't get a lot of coverage on the internet. So if you search Kalahari canals, I think there's one person who did a line, and what they did was they measured each one. And oh, you don't want to measure that way? Okay, let's start with this nice thick one, and we'll go to the next thick one. And how many do we have in between? Is that just one? So we have, see, and we also needed to get the topography software going to look at this stuff. Let's try it, because I think it's important. The topography can do it. Let's go to here, and we'll back out a little bit, and maybe later we can take the topography over to what I was looking at before by Africa. I'm sorry, by the Eye of Africa. Okay, so again, this is a panhandle of Namibia, and below it is this delta river. You can barely see it right there. But when you zoom in, you start to see the ridges with the topography. There they are, see? So using the topography software, which is us.topographic-map.com, you can check it out for yourself. These lines are definitely up and down, up and down. And with those with the fact that it's, I do have a slideshow that I probably could have popped open, but all this stuff is really old. But I have a slide that shows the 250,000 square miles that this Kalahari Canals is. Okay, because of the time, I want to move on. Thank you, Robert Brevert, for that. Look up Kalahari Canals, and yes, it doesn't get enough coverage. You can see them down here, right? We just saw them down here. Oh, I'm not north. I'm sorry. Let me always reset to north before commenting on down here. So they're over here at the northern part of Namibia. And then you see them here. You see them up here. You can see them go way up here. There's one spot that got a flood. It's right about here. And you can see where the flood, yes, right here. You can see where it got flooded, and the whole complex of canals got an escarpment going through it. You can still kind of see them down here. All right, I'll let you do that by yourself. Let's go to another question. I like answering questions, so if there's more questions, I'll keep going to an hour, but we'll see about that. We got 56 people watching. That makes me very happy. Okay, so Azores is one of the Atlantean cities. Let's see if I'm not ignoring. I don't want to ignore. Let's go in order. Yeah, the Rome dog, how do you pronounce that word? The bathymetry. I need a good website for that. I found a couple, and the reason that I really wanted it was talking about the Richat structure and the circles that were. Well, the question, I'm just going to go straight there since I have this open now. But the Richat structure, the question is, are the concentric circles, and by the way, they're not very concentric now, are they? Well, let's imagine that this is just the gums of a mouth that used to have teeth and all the top of it. And then this stuff has got to be some type of event, this straight line right here. But let's talk about what I was saying was these colors. We've got this dark, and when I say dark, I mean dark white, 208 feet. But when you've got these colors, they kind of are the same as this shoreline, especially over here. This is lower. So you clearly have an unevenness on the Adrar plateau. And way over here, these are above that line, meaning if you stood right there on that cliff, this is a shoreline. If you stood right there, you would see, probably you would be able to see this. Remember, this is a long distance away. That's 10 kilometers. That's about 10 kilometers away. But if you're up on that cliff, I think you could see that that's going to be your same level right there. That was my point about that. Let me get to the next question. Okay, creation of the universe. I think that I skipped this. So if most of the Egyptian monuments and cityscape is upriver in terms of the Nile, you say Niles? You mean because it is 2 Niles at one point? Why couldn't Atlantis as the Richat structure have been inland upriver based on some ancient river, similar to Egypt? Thank you for that beautiful argument. That makes perfect sense, right? Because you see the Thebes is about here, right? So you see that Cairo's not on the shoreline. The Giza's not way out here by the ocean. It's upriver. This is a very complex delta system. I won't get into that right now, but when you talk about the ancient Tamanrasset River, where did I put that? You know, I got it, and by the way, it's for you. I got to put that stuff in that large video. Let me see if I have, let's see, parallel canals. It must be at the bottom down here. Canals at Tamanrasset. Okay, so that's something that I didn't talk about. There's a bunch of canals right there. So let me just start, and then I'll get to the next question. Up here is the Tamanrasset Mountains. There it says right there, Tamanrasset. That's up near Tassil Najir National Park. We've got the city of Adrar up there. That's in Algeria. But so wherever it all accumulated, and you can have several riverheads, right? converging. According to what we've seen, this was really the path of the river, Taman Riset, ancient Paleo River. Now it kind of went this way, where my arrow is. Take a close look. But you would think that it came down there, but according to mainstream media, it went up and over and then came down over here. Now, that's why I believe it, is because you've got all these canals here. This canal system, actually, I thought I had a few more, but when you get in here, you can see a whole bunch of ancient activity, and you can see these poopy mountains. I think that was a canal. That was a canal intersection right there. I mean, this may not be the best one. Some of them don't really look like they're complete canals. So, like, if I looked at that and said, that's a canal, well, I don't think so, because those are actually little mountain ridges, and I believe those were put there by miners. I believe that all these lines, look how they crisscross, were placed for some reason across this. Maybe they were trying to build up a mountain plateau like Telabit in Mali, and I'm not going to start going there right now. I kind of want to go to the next question, but did I answer this one? The Taman Riset is definitely not, I mean, it came out right here. We can see this is supposed to be right there. I mean, look how far out it goes. So I also think maybe that's a mistake, but this thing right here came from the Taman Riset River. And I'm pretty sure that, I mean, that's like 100 miles right there away from the shoreline, the ancient shoreline, maybe less. But the thing is that if you talk about a river that was that strong, that could make that dotted impression on the floor of the Atlantic Ocean, then yeah, it was pretty big. And ancient shoals of mud that stop entry, what is that? That's a shoal of mud, and that looks like it was a shoal of mud. Did the river come out of here? Well, let's line it up, and then we'll see. So we've got this thing going here, and then it disappears, but I do think it's possible it came out of there. Maybe this has changed. Remember, it came out here. So it came out to about here. So we don't want to say, is that the river? But there is a chance that could be like a billabong, part of the river. Who knows? I'm not here to say, oh yeah, was that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, where were we? Creation of the universe, thank you for that. It's a very good point. Delta over Egypt, we were just talking about, you can see the ghost of its former delta to the left. It was a lot bigger and was pushed to the right on the left. Old delta covered with mud. Well, I'm not an Egypt specialist, but I kind of am so curious what you're talking about. Are you saying right about here? I mean, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Thank you for that question. Let's go to a next one, though. Whoops. Let's see here. Azores is one of the Atlantean cities, and let's be honest about that. Out of the 10 twins, the final set, her name is, or maybe I kind of feel like it's a female name, but maybe it's a male, is Azores, okay? Azores. Come on. Yeah, Swaziland. Okay, Delta is a big green umbrella. Actually, don't ask me what I think that delta looks like. Don't ask me what I always think of when I see deltas. Because, honestly, thank you for hitting that like button. 42. Thank you so much. Anis Garby, you gave me that same one. Can you check the pentagram? I'm going to do a little bit more into that, so thank you so much for that. The truth is I want to make sure I can get back there, so thank you, David. Roger Spur at Mud Fossil. Well, you know, I'm not about... Okay, what can I say about that? Let me say, he claims that that's a dragon that crashed and burned, and all this stuff is the blood. I heard his argument. That's an interesting argument, and what I would like to know is who put these mountains on top of that dragon. And if you know my dike stuff, especially this part right here, okay, you know what a hairpin turn is. Have you ever seen a mountain do a hairpin turn? And by the way, I'm convinced by what I've seen in South Africa and the Colorado that ancient people were putting down lines like this. I can show you in the Sahara. I can show you some new stuff. But I'm here to answer your questions right now, so new stuff is out. But when you look at this and you follow this line, look how it goes over itself and backs around and twists and then comes back and then twists back this way and then kind of goes under the sand. And where does it start? Let's find the starting point. Well, it's kind of starting everywhere. Look at this one. That's a river breach. But we've got one, okay, It still seems to be connected to this zigzag right here, right? So maybe this is part of it. Yeah, it looks like it is. And it's going back and forth. I mean, geologists, pipe up. Let's hear what you have to say about this mountain range in the Atlas Mountains. Because it looks to me like someone dropped material, dropped it, came over here, did a U-turn, came back here, back, did a seagull, came down here, then moved over here, right? Now, this seems like it's a separate part. This part right here is down here, and then this part is up here. But who's to say they didn't pick up the pipe bag and stop it and move it and pick it up and move it? I don't know what giants did this, but if you are a believer that the Azores was Atlantis because it's the Trivergence, and this right here was, okay, sorry, that little corner was here, that little corner was there, and then what corner was over here? Well, we've got the Appalachian Mountains, and look at what they look like. Okay, I know you're going to think I'm crazy for even talking about it, but we've got these same hairpin mountains that make up the Appalachians. Okay, you think I'm crazy? Let's move on to the next question. There's not a super chat option? The hell there's not! I can see it right there. Show your support, but look, super chats are kind of BS. I've got a PayPal account if you really want to give me some money. It's right there in the description. But I'm not here begging for money right now. I'm actually begging for you to share this video. If you could share it, that would mean that's a free way of helping me out. And thank you for the thumbs ups. I got 63 people watching. So if you were to share this with a good friend and say, wow, this guy's a super freak, come troll him. Okay, where was I? I believe in giants now. Okay, where were we? Wow, there's a lot of new comments. Yes, we were here. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. It's 46. I did say I wanted to stop at 30, and now I'm headed towards an hour, but I do have viewers, and this is a celebration for you. So I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. Who said that? Okay. I know that the accent sucked. Let's see. This is calling my name. Thank you, Rome Dog. Kim. Crazy is good. Frank Lee. Yeah, you mentioned, and then I want to go here. Wow, this is a big old... And when the number's long like that, you know that it's up close. I love your squatting man right there. And by the way, the squatting man looks just like the free man of all the Berber flags. So I kind of wonder if that free man, which is not exactly the same as a squatting man, but if the free man... Okay, where am I going? Actually, I'm going to do a search. Let's just put it in here. Yeah, well, I'm crazy because I can't figure out what all this stuff is. Oh, it's over here? Oh, yeah, teat sheet. Yeah, you're talking about the stone circles that are in teat sheet. Now, this is a cut through, but right next to it, and by the way, I should mention to the person, I forgot. I was gonna point that out. The person that mentioned the South Africa stuff. Thank you. That must be a super chat, right? Uh-oh. No, it's green, but over there it says that OBS is red. I don't know what my speed is. You've got in this teat sheet area, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, definitely some cut-throughs. Definitely some canal entry points. Some kind of crazy stuff. Maybe this is just an escarpment right here. Let me just show you a couple other things while we're here. Is it here? There's a couple of other stone circle areas. All this stuff is crazy. Right here, super dark, right? But when you zoom in, you can see the stone circles that Michael Tellinger is talking about. Well, look at that. There looks like a cut through right there. And that looks like a river, but that looks like a cut through. Lots of canals around here. I was going to show you something, but it must be way over here. That one right there. I think it's right here. You definitely have more of those stone circles. And, you know, the big thing to ask yourself is, who would create that for a house? I wouldn't. Where's the door? I'm sure if you look at the culture that entered from the roof, that could be an argument. It looks like somebody cut through right there, but these really do like these really do look like the Michael Tellinger stone circles. Okay, let's move on though, because I really want to try my best to keep this going. And as long as it went back down to 52 watching. As long as the number's rising, I'm going to stick around. But we got 54 thumbs ups now, so thank you for that. The thumbs up help bring more people to this live stream, so you could bombard my thumbs up. or share it to a friend. And let's see here. I'm gonna try to scan a little more. I should probably put more of this here, so I remember. Controlled area. We're talking about this stuff right here. You keep saying Algeria, but I think we're talking about here is Mauritania. Let's go back to your other one real quick and see where that was after all. I think it disappeared. There, it's got to be here, right? So where is the other one that you just showed me? You're right. It is in, you're right. That's Algeria. So, and this is definitely cool. Thank you. I've seen that before, but I didn't really stick around because there's some things that I just can't comment on. But look, it's got 5 equal points. It's pretty damn obvious that, well, you find pentagons in nature. See, so I go back and forth over this stuff. Maybe an ancient ritual site. I can certainly believe that. And, just because it might have been naturally created doesn't mean it didn't turn in. I mean, I still sometimes say, I still think that the Richat was naturally created, but by a plasma discharge of some sort. Careful marking things on Google Earth. I feel like Google took my finds and hid them. Okay, I agree. Yeah, well, sometimes I put stuff in there and you've got to enter it now. You got to save it to the project. It won't just automatically save sometimes. Some structures around called giant footprints. Are you from Algeria, Anis? If you are, I want to talk to you off the air, okay? So please get in touch with me. Maybe after this video is finished, make a comment and we can chat after this is over. Possible graveyards. Okay, so as far as tumuli goes, I believe that they are the dolmens of Africa, and they may contain the sculpt. There's a bunch of tumuli. Some of my favorites are in Morocco, and so because I said it, I'm going to try to go to it real quick. My favorite one is up here, down here, this river right here. It's right about here. It's kind of hard for me to find, but I've been doing better lately. I think it's right here. Am I wrong? Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for this because, like I said, this is for you, not for me. So, where is that? Right here? Okay, it's right about here, and I want to go there. I mentioned I might go to Morocco if I go to Spain in January, and I'd love to take a car ride down here. I've already looked at the roads. It's pretty out of. Is it low resolution? Give me a 2 if it's bad resolution. Give me a 2 if there's any tech issues. Give me a 1 if it's still clear for you, because I'm getting a slow feed. Honestly, if I was serious about getting a message out and ignoring everybody, I would. I'm getting a 1. Okay, no issues with stream. Thank you. All right, let's go back up there and see. Let's just go to some obvious questions. Thank you for helping me out in there, answering questions. Some people know me, some people are new. Hut Hutchinson's, tell us about your shower. Okay, well, the video started 52 minutes ago, so we're going to be finishing it up. Electric Universe, I'm seeing this question. I don't even know what that word means, eschatological take. So thank you for teaching me new words. Electric Universe. Well, Petri Dish, I kind of was a big Comet fan because one of my first viral videos, semi-viral, was in 2013, made by somebody else about Comet Ison, and I learned so much. It just blew me away. And the guy who made it, David Dubine, now he does a different channel, but and he makes money on his channel. So, but it's more about prepping, and I don't want to get too into his topic, but check out his channel, Adapt 2030. Basically, the philosophy is you got to adapt by 2030. Right now, we're in a mini ice age. It's a grand solar minimum, stuff like that. Giants, please. Okay, Bradley, see, this has got to be a different video. I see so much big stuff here that I do think giants must have been doing it. For example, these lines here in Mali and the crisscross hatching. Telebit shows it. Look at those mountains. Geologists, let's hear what you have to say about that. Okay, and the fact that they're crisscrossing over here, they crisscross, they've created plateaus out of these this debris, this probably overburden dumping, but they seem to have a purpose with it here. Did they mine it to use it, or did they use it here to get rid of what they already mined? So many questions about that. All right, let's keep going here. Giants, right? Where is it? Giants. I must have gone way down here. Yep, the shower, Petri dish, giants. There's a lot more to be said about giants. I want your input on giants. I want pictures. Please share them with me. Please friend me on Facebook. I guess maybe it's a follow now. Kale Lopez, if the Richat is the capital city of Atlantis, where are the other kingdoms? Okay, well, in my opinion on that question, if you look at Critias and the words, he says that the twin of Atlas was given the area across from Gadieres, it says. That's a Greek word, but people say it's Cadiz. And Cadaith is one of the places I want to visit. Donyada has been a speculated place that was a location, but we're talking about across from, so I'm talking about here. So if Atlantis's twin got this, definitely some of the others got this other part. What about Doggerland? Doggerland was there. It's all underwater now. Probably part of Atlantis. What about out here? Probably part of Atlantis. If it's true that something sunk right here, it's probably part of Atlantis. Cuba, that's a little far. Don't tell me that the middle of Colorado was Atlantis. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. All right, let's keep going. We're at 57, so we went up a little bit. Kim, thank you. Let me see if I missed something. Thank you, Kale Lopez. There was something that said Atlantis had to be within. Yeah, that was the Michael Hubner. Well, I don't know if you're talking about the same thing, but there was a paper that Michael Hubner wrote, and he came up that Atlantis was right here. He passed away, but he used all the things in the story of Plato. He took everything in. By the way, I'm going to say it now, Critias, Timaeus, okay? I don't say Critaeus, I don't say Timaeus, I don't say polygonal, I say polygonal. Do you say photographer? No, you don't say photographer, you say photographer. It's the anti-penultimate syllable is the one that we normally... English, actually, we have a lot of stuff going on with English. But with Spanish, we put an accent mark. We, not me, because I'm not a Spanish native speaker. I do speak some Spanish. We put an accent mark on the words that go away from those rules. The default in Spanish and technically English is we don't say photographer, we say photographer. So photograph is photograph. We have 3 syllables, but the last syllable, okay, it's the anti-penultimate syllable is stressed, and so it's photograph. But if we add the to the end, now that shifts over to the next one, photographer. Okay, so don't say polygonal, say polygonal. Don't say Timaeus, say Timaeus. Well, wait a minute. You know what? I broke my own rule, so whatever. Let's get back to work here. Question was, you were asking me about that 5,000, and I mentioned the Michael Hubner paper that put Atlantis right here, and those happen to be right next to the hairpin mountains I talked about. WTF. WTF. Okay, where were we? Next one. Yeah, the super chat. Well, I see my super chat. I don't know why you don't see your super chat, but that's okay. We don't have to do super chats. I'm not that big. When I get 1.6 million subscribers like Jimmy, I'll probably only answer super chats. But this is a celebration. Thank you, 10,000 subscribers. It only took me 17 years to get there. What? Yeah, I've been monetized since 2008. So when we talk about 2023, how many years is that? 15? I think I was saying 14. So 15 years ago, I got monetized, and it only took me 15 years to get to 10,000. Let's see here. I don't want to... Oh, so Rob Snipes, do you find it? Okay, Rob, you got to super chat me now. Let's see. Kim, thank you so much. Taoyuan, Andy King, hello from Taoyuan. Saskatchewan, Canada. Mystery rocks. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's a little small. Mystery rock is. I'm not saying it's not a quarry. Yeah, mystery rocks. Mystery rock. Look. Okay, it's rocks. Looks exactly like some of these quarries. I've got Maple Creek number 111. Are you giving me coordinates for? Yes, I've been to Mystery Rock. Let's skip going there right now. Ghost Delta. Yes. Okay. I'll look at that. I'll look at that later. Oh, I'm getting like up to 57 watching now, 67 likes. I think we're almost at the end, so we're doing okay. Let's try to answer them all. Buffing? Oh, buffering. Yeah, I'm seeing the buffering, and it's low resolution as well. Although, one of the things it's only 240p for me right now, and I'm not going to change that. Let's just keep it there. But I'm getting those ones, so I'm happy. Oh, you were answering a question I asked an hour ago, so just want to kind of that looks like a question. Thank you, Oscar. Let's go back to the the Fayum was actually, according to mainstream history, Fayum was older than Egypt. And I don't know what to say about Fayum. It's definitely an oasis, and probably an offshoot of the Nile. Sorry for the burping. A LiDAR scan in the desert. I guess it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. But to me, the only reason why... What does a LiDAR scan do? Well, it would give us topography, but would it show us new things? I think that we don't need a LiDAR scan in the desert very much. I wouldn't invest my money into it because we can zoom right in and see these things, and the LiDAR scan is good for a place that has trees and other stuff in the way. So the stuff that's in the way here, sand, is not something that a LiDAR could see through as far as I know. So LiDAR to me would be a great thing to use in Colorado. Congrats. Thank you, Oscar, again. And once again, the Eye of the Sahara is the Eye of the dead Titan. Can we agree that the eye was once alive? Well, this does look like the Predator alien, right? You see the eye, and then you see the frown, and then you see the wart at the end of the chin, and you see the other eye right here hiding with another eyebrow. So some people think... Now, I've been given some stuff. When you give me a picture of a genital and tell me it's supposed to be a genital, that's tough for me to go with. So I don't really like to conjecture too much on stuff like that. But thank you, Darth Vader. The Great. The Rock, yes, West African, and they are the same. But the question is how did those folds happen? African soil is red, black, and soil is rarer. Yeah, well, the soil is all kind of gone to Brazil. Links, Darth Vader, please. Okay, let's get down to the bottom. Yeah, okay, I promise, Vernier, and I do have some past stuff about that. And unfortunately, it does make me sound crazy. And last, to respond to that, it's unfortunately if I'm going to ever make any money off this channel, my audience right now cares about the Richat, cares about the Atlantis in Richat structure Atlantis. So those three words, Richat structure is one, and then Atlantis is the other, and Richat Atlantis and Richat structure Atlantis. Those key words are given to me in analytics to be my number one bread and butter. So I definitely have to give my new subscribers this. I got 70 likes, but I'm down. Ooh, I was down to 50. By the way, sometimes the likes disappear. The watchers disappear when I lose. Let's see if I'm still green. I'm still green. So green is go. Let's see. Was buffing a bit. Thank you. Did we get it? Thank you for introducing yourself, Anis. And please, let's Tunisia and Morocco. Definitely would love to visit you in January. I don't know where you're staying, but my plan is to probably either land in Madrid or land in Barcelona. Right now, I'm looking at Barcelona and taking a bus over here or a train. I was told that there's not a big train that goes over here, but there is a bus. I could be wrong. And definitely go to the Rock of Gibraltar. And then if I can cross here, I would. I'll do other research about that. Casablanca, what a dream that will be, right? Oh, let's get some street views of that. No, not now. I'll do that later. The white blotches in the structures were settlements. Okay, Well, the thing with white blotches is they tend to be evaporated water salt deposits from playa lakes. So when you talk about where are we? All this stuff, and by the way, these are white, but the Sebket El Guelb is not really white. I believe that's a crater, and I believe that that was the impact that destroyed Atlantis. So we need to get the proxies, the impact proxies out of here. We can't do it here because we've got all these alluvial fans. So we're going to have to find a place probably right there. You got to dig a little bit. You can't just scrape up what's on top. If you saw my video, by the way, there's another alluvial fan, right? So I do believe that this would be a good place. You'd probably want to dig, and you'd have to get in. You'd have to get permission. Apparently the government's really picky. There's that tree that I was standing over here. We pulled over. I climbed up here, and then I got that video from about here. And there's the tree. That's an alluvial fan also. So take a look at that. Moving on. White blotches. So yeah, there are some other white blotches that kind of represent like where animals come together. And in like Africa, you've got a lot of white blotches that represent watering holes. So it is an interesting point. And see, like, look over here. What's that thing right there? I never even saw that. That's interesting. And it's got an outcrop right there. That's very interesting. Oh, and by the way, the donut, that's 2 kilometers across, and the donut is also 4 kilometers across. I believe that this is an impact. I've been there. I drove here. The Semsiat Dome, they call it. Okay, that implies it's a volcano, and a dome is not what I believe this is. Now, this little thing that happened here, I believe it looks like the separation from a cake that collapsed in the oven. And that means moisture was there, and then suddenly something shifted. I believe that this was a separation point where the moisture caused it to separate. And the moisture, when I say crater from an impact, got filled with some type of material. Same with this, just like the Carolina Bays. Let's keep going. Okay, yeah, so you're trying to sleep. Well, I'm sorry for keeping you awake, but I think you're supposed to be waking up right about now, right? It's 7 p.m. here in this undisclosed location. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That's Pacific time. I'm in California right now. I know that everything says I live in Taiwan, but I'm in California, and I've been home for 2 years. Let's not talk about that. This is for you. This is for you. We're going down with the watchers. We're down to 49, and also the questions are building up. We better get out of here. We better get this going. So I know one person who really wants to go to the Azores. If you want to go to the Azores, let's talk about it. Let's talk about a way to do it. I'm got to be careful. I don't have a lot of money. I'm saving my money for Spain and Morocco and maybe Algeria. Hint, hint, Anis. Maybe even Libya if I can get to Planetary Valley, right? Really want to go see that. Okay, giant artist, terraforming scientist vibe. How about miner? Where's the mining? Okay, let's talk about that. You need to change the chat from top chat to live chat. Is that for me or for somebody else? I'm pretty sure you're talking about for him, right? I don't get it because I'm the host. But yeah, so that goes to who was that? Rome Dog. Did you say that? Try changing its setting right up here. It's from live chat to the other one, or whatever he just said. Okay, let's get through these. This is for you guys. Thanks again for all the subs. If you have questions that didn't get answered during the interview, put them at the bottom. I'm going to attempt to answer it. We're at an hour now, right? It's actually over an hour. See, this is what I used to do, and I really don't want to do this, but this is for you guys. So I'm going to keep answering as long as I've got 48 people watching. So I got to stop moving from here. Okay, let's go here. All right, African Maverick. I think that we're going to go search that. I see the great flood, mud, and rock scraping the land away. Oh, talking about mud floods, talking about scraping. The middle of the Colorado is where I live, and it is my Atlantis. Rome Dog, were you the one that talked about the scissoring dikes being nearby there? Because I am going to go back up there. So let's talk about maybe having some coffee if I come through your town. That's going to be basically Kuchara. Okay, interesting location. Let's copy this, and let's go to it. Let's hurry. I don't want to get to 2 hours, but why not? You know, I should rethink it and do it if you want. I'm happy to do it. That's super chats. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. I mean, the OBS is green. Oh, that. Okay, so what we're looking at, that's in basically Niger. And I don't believe any. Look at those circles. Okay, so those circles those do look like Michael Tellinger stone circles. Okay, and according to him, these were all what do you call them? Some type of gold processing centers, like settling ponds or leaching ponds or something. And so with all this stuff around, and with what I showed you in Mali, I'm of the mindset this is all created. I know you think I'm crazy, but they call them circular dikes, and there's a whole bunch here. The one that looks like Homer Simpson is over here. I think that one kind of looks like Homer Simpson or a gangster with the whole, if you go see my video, the thumbnail shows this. But at the time I did that video, look at that head. It looks like a big, huge Homer Simpson head with a small face. But I'm going to have to get used to that. And here's another part. Why is north right there? Like, I could grab it and slide it over to the left, or I could grab it and slide it over to the right. But north is someplace in between. And that just doesn't make sense to me. So you were pointing at the circular dike. And, yeah, I think this has all been worked. Let's go on, though, because you can check out a video. I've got 3 languages under my what is the word? Not my thumb, my belt. Not south of my belt. Okay, next, Stormrun Gaming. So, yeah, you know the joke, so I'm not going to even get into it. Pangea, yeah. Okay, so Stormrun Gaming, there's a new theory out there about Pangea being actually expanding Earth theory. So take a look at that, and it's something that I'm looking at. I'm tectonics. You see these tectonic lines going all over the place. Some of them don't make a lot of sense. So it is an interesting theory. It's not flat Earth theory. It's the opposite. It's the theory is that we were a smaller Earth, and then we created our own water, and the Earth expanded, and the separation happened, and Pangea was not just the one picture we see, but the whole Earth itself was Pangea. It was all dirt, right? It's a very interesting thing. And by the way, got to thank Creation in the Universe for pointing that out to me first, I think. That was the first time I heard of that. And that's Antoine. Okay, hilarious digression. What did I do? I don't know. Thank you. I'm going to get through these. Thanks for the English. I didn't know that. Thank you, Kim. Okay, I'm going to thank you. What's next, mate? Any trips? Yeah, I mentioned I'd love to get to Morocco in January. And by the way, if anybody wants to pay for my trips and go along, let's do it. I'm up. I don't have a lot of money to just go crazy. I'm not a Bitcoin thing. I have right now I'm paying my rent. I got to get out from under some things. Okay, the biggest what the F thing I found on Google Earth. Oh, that is a tough one, Jeremy. Thank you for that question. Oh, okay, so thank you, Sask. Oh, wait, I'm skipping some stuff. Thank you for the like button. That's awesome. But I am going down to 42 viewers. I do want to finish this up. We're already way over an hour. Thank you. My military background is I learned Chinese in Monterey, and then I was an activated reservist, and they taught me Chinese. That's why I entered the military. And then when I came home, I really made a big mistake because they put me on IRR, inactive red reserve, and I should have stayed in because I had a TS, and that would probably be very valuable today. But then again, I would have had to be part of the institution for much longer. I wasn't in the mood for that at the time of my life. But looking back, I kind of wish that I had retired military, honestly. Although then I would have had to go to the Iraq War. I got out in 88, December of 88, I got out. Yes, I'm old. Okay, somebody said, I don't think LiDAR will work. Wait, I thought I just saw LiDAR will work in the sand. I guess I misread that. Okay, good. So I don't think so either. It's for organics. Thank you, Jeremy F. Have to think about that. Smoking gun. There's a bunch of thumbnails I've created that are smoking guns, but now I've got so many smoking guns. How about this? The top 10 smoking gun. Jeremy, You gave me a good idea for my next produced video. The top 10 smoking guns that I've found. I don't know how to save this. Pin message. I like it. I like it. Let's pin it. Asteroid theory. I don't really know, Brazzy, what asteroid theory you've talking about. What happened? What happened? Where did it go? Odin X. Odin X. I remember you. Well, I remember you. Wait. What happened? Not impact glass, but vitrified. Everything's vitrified. Okay, there it is. Okay, Brazzy. I'm not sure what you mean, but let me help. Asteroid theory, and if so, where do you think it landed? I think we're talking about Younger Dryas event, and where do I think it landed? I'm looking at the freaking Great Lakes right now. If you look at the Carolina Bays, and you see that survey and the millions of, I mean, I know Jimmy says he doesn't really, and what's Curiosity's name? Tina at Being Curious. She did a video, kind of, I don't want to say debunking, but pointing out some information that, but those bays are, I mean, I just learned about the bays 2 years ago. I've heard of them before, and I found a couple, and I knew about Antonio, his channel called the Antonio, damn it, Zamora, and he definitely is the expert on bays. And okay, so let's get on Basque region. Am I? Actually, my friend, it seems like I'm not sure how close he lives to the Basque region, but he lives way up near France. I don't want to get into that. Did you find any impact glass? Like I said, again, everything is vitrified. And let's talk about the red, white, and black stones. Now, what I believe that is an oxidation process. So these stones I saw were white. Yes, I saw black stones, but they were on the outer, and if they broke in half, you'd have a white in the inside is white. So what I see is an oxidation, and yes, there's iron there. And then there's the black, which could be some type of cataclysm that changed the color. But moving forward, the center of the eye that you can share. Lola Bola, I do have stuff like that. You should go to the playlists that I've put together for my trips. But yes, Lola Bola, I did lack. I didn't have a person who really... My driver, I couldn't communicate with him to take pictures. Maybe I should have shoved a camera in his hand and said, hey, get going. Start trotting. But I was in kind of a different mindset, if you would, and I was pretty much in the mood to hold the camera and not put me on camera. And yes, if I do it, I will put myself on camera more. I have lots of pictures to share. Let's get this. Is that the same one? Can you check this one? Okay, we'll do it very quickly. Anis, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Where were we? Here? Let's go. Don't take me to a porn site, please. Here we are. Okay, oh, that? Wow. I don't even know what that is. I guess we're looking in the ocean. Okay, let's back out of here. Is that an island or what? Is that the ocean? So what it appears to be is an underwater plateau. Can I, what can I do? I want to show heading and tilt controls. How about just go north and stop messing with me? Oh my gosh, that's one stupid thing. Somebody tell Google. Okay, so we certainly have a lot of those things out there. And we have a transition from, Cat Hill? That's interesting. I don't think I've even seen that, right? Cat Hill. Interesting. Let's see, are we north-south? So what? Oh, that's right by the ridge. That's right on the other side of the main ridge. So the ridge has a lot of sutures and it has a lot of going the opposite direction, right? And with the good scans, you can see that activity. It's not really, we're really seeing scan lines, except for the ridge itself. And I know that these are suture lines too. I got the terminology from Randall. But then you get to a point where there's no more topography and it gets really silty, right? But I can tell you right now, you're still seeing plateaus. I mean, was it Atlantis? I don't know what I'm looking at and why we have that dark color. I suspect that that's a really good question. It's a glitch. It's an artifact too. You've got some scanning artifacts in there as well. So I don't know how to answer that question right now. Sorry. Does it look like a pentagram? Maybe it kind of did, but I wouldn't like start going on a campaign over it. Oscar L. Oh, a great kingdom in the area. When was it built? Well, okay, so if you think it was Atlantis 13,000 years ago, Oscar was the end of Atlantis. So when was the beginning of Atlantis? Well, could we say 50,000 years? Would you believe 100? Randall Carlson said, there were chert outcrops. So that were mined hundreds of thousands of years ago. He went back to 1,000,000.2. So yeah, somebody was there. When was it starting to be the city of Atlantis? How long do civilizations really last? Probably longer than our current situation. So more than 6,000 years, more than 8,000, 10,000 years, maybe 20, maybe 50. I've always said 50. I mean, I always talk about the age of these canals that I walked down. So we'll go in there and we'll take a quick look where I walked. We've got this straight 18-kilometer canal that's cut right into with trees up here, but down here the trees are gone, but you can still see the consistency. And by the way, I've always thought that was like an inlet. I've always wondered about this because it seems to go in another direction. Maybe there was a whole thick topsoil up here, and there was a whole community that got washed away, and then later on, somebody did all this mining on top of it. But I'm telling you, up here on top of these plateaus that nobody can reach, we've got all these scraping and work. Okay, next question. Of course they had 0-point energy generators, Okay, right, okay, thank you. Let's find a question. Just throwing this out there. Let me just scan. I really hate to miss a good question. Urban planning, yes. Talk about the Manhattan structure. Ripple effect seen on map where the Richat structure located is identical to found in Washington State. Okay. Believable. By the way, I love your Randall impression. Thank you, Jeremy F. Some people. We're down to the end. We're up to 47 though. So I'm gonna give a couple more questions, and then I got to get out of here. Let's try it for 90 minutes. We're at 82 minutes right now. There are some remote viewing sessions on the Eye of the Sahara. Go back and watch my 2013 video on Comet Ison, the very first one, and it would be some interesting comments on remote viewing. That's not me talking, by the way. That's David Dubine, or I should say Plasma Dave, top secret. We can't know since many ancient... Oh, I'm sorry. The Farsight Institute, is that Edward Casey, or is that a different one? We can't know since many ancient great bibliotecas were demolished. Yes, and that's where we believe that the data from the Piri-Reis map was taken from. Okay, I'm getting a lot of messages on what? That could be a lot of stuff. Maybe that's a YouTube. I'm also getting notifications from YouTube. That could be an email. That could be my so-called Twitter. That could be... Oh, and I never finished showing those other pictures on Jimmy's... Okay. Profile of Osiris. Okay, yes. Matt, that one is one that I don't really touch. I obviously have thought about that. And question is it Osiris or is it the other eye they use? Let's just say it's the eye that's on the pyramid on the back of our dollar bill. I mean, this eye is definitely something that you can see from space. Okay, thank you, Robert. Eye of Horus. See, is it Osiris or is it of Horus? So, which one? I mean, we have two different eyes here. I can get into that a little more. There's some lines on the ground that make it. Some people have argued about it. If this were mining, where was the product moved or collected at? All right, let's get into that. I'm sorry about that. Creation in the universe. I honestly 3 times opened it up and it's not seemed to be working. I think you better check that link. This is annoying, but here we are. All these mountains are created. And when I say that, I mean, when I see this, I can't say anything. There's could be natural, they could be, but I'm talking about all sorts of stuff going on in Mali, up here, Telebit, I showed you. All these straight, squiggly, I call them the poopy mountains. And when you find photographs of them, and you can find the photographs. What is that? Oh, that's hide other projects. I don't want to do that. Sorry. When you put the photos in there, you can find photos, and you can see these mountains. See, it's really hard to get a good photo in this area. There's one here. And when you click on it, you see what these mountains really are. Now, all I can say is that really what a mountain is a pile of rocks? A mountain isn't a pile of rocks. A mountain is something completely different. And when you see these piles piled up, vast piles of just piles of rocks that are creating what I call the poopy mountains, because remember when you created dribble sandcastles on the beach, and they had slurry that moved this content through some device, that they were able to lay it down in lines like this. That's where the content went. Look at the cross-hatching here. And you get in there and you're like, oh, that looks natural. Well, does it though? Does it? How many geologists are out in my audience right now? Give me a number 1 if you're a geologist. Give me a number 1, please, if you're a geologist. We've got 51 watching. So let's see. I keep doing that. I got to stop moving it down. Okay, I'm still up here, I think. There we are. Okay, yeah, the Taman Risset River was really big. And yes, retracted. What happened, Max? Did you do that, or did a wrench do that? Okay, so Plato was not the only one. Of course, it was Solus who spoke about it. Herodotus talked about it, yes, used a different wording. But we also have now this I said it wrong. I was corrected. The German translation of the texts of the walls. I just watched a video. I'm learning all about it. It's supposed to be the same story. Creation, I'm keep checking. I'm looking for a new link if you can give me one, because you got the good stuff. Everybody go over to Creation in the Universe's channel and subscribe. Don't navigate away yet. We're almost done here. Tunisia, Eastern North Africa, where they may have been one of the Indian kingdoms, is the Capsian civilization. Indigenous people until the days celebrate the last week of July as what? As the annual celebration of Poseidon's. Okay, very interesting. Called Awasu Berber. I got a lot of questions for you. I hope we can connect. I watched that comet hit Jupiter. Oh, you mean the string of pearls? It wasn't just one, right? The string of pearls. And by the way, Atlantis has its own string of pearls. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say Google Earth. You can see the string of pearls. What does string of pearls mean? It means that several impacts hit from the same comet that broke apart. And then what happened next is that since the planet was rotating, it created a line. Now, this would imply, okay, sorry. Let me get to it. This would imply, back to the list. Canals, no, that's not it. We're going to go to parallel canals. There's a few of them here. Which one is it? See, I can't remember. Let's try this one. Canals to Richat. Yeah, that's got a lot of stuff in it. Okay, so all these red lines are basically canals that I found cutting through the Adrar. I've done videos on this. I need to answer the question, though. The question was, the string of pearls. So what we need to do is we need to put, I've got a projection, I've got the string of pearls Mauritania right there. So we've got this impact. It's right here. That's the Temi Machete crater. I put the line next to it, so it's kind of a few feet away. And then we've got this one down here, which is, and I did a special circle inside it, but that's the Tenamore crater. And then some people try to call the Richat itself an impact. No, I don't. I'm not calling the Richat itself an impact. I'm calling the Sebket El Guelb an impact. Okay? And then the last one is right over here. It's kind of at an angle. And this one is called, I don't know how to pronounce it, Awelo. So we have a string of pearls happening here, but if that was a string of pearls, that would imply that the rotation of the planet was here. So I'm just kind of making a speculation with that. All right, we're almost at 2 hours. Time to get rid of. Oh no, 90 minutes is over. Let's just get through these last ones, and then I'm out of here. I gotta go. The Holy Roman. All right, guys, we're almost out of here. So a lot of statements. Okay, I already saw that. We already saw that. What did I do? Giants on Mars. Oh, iron. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, are you talking about the how does it pronounced? You know what? I keep wanting to say crustaceans, which is what a lobster is, right? They're called. We're talking about what we see in Planetary Valley, those spheres, but the ones in Peru are apparently man-made or unnaturally made. They're called concretions. Concretions. You talked about those giants with marbles. Concretions. Okay. Yeah, the Aslan theory of Atlantis is an interesting one. Yeah, creation in the universe. I'm sorry it failed. And I would... sorry about that. I think that was you, Creation, on What's Up. Thank you, everybody. We're getting ready to be done with this. Although I do want to say once again, thank you so much. 1,000 subs. It's at like 10.4 now. So I'm so happy. But, you know, I'll do another one of these tomorrow for all I care. So Atlantis. Interesting. That's funny. Atlantis. I love that. How come I never thought of that, Lola Bola? How come I never thought of that? Yeah, I'm getting out of here. You guys like this song that I always leave with? I'm going to play it. It's going to mess up. It always messes up. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to talk to you when I'm finished. I'm closing those down because I want to grab... Where is it? I want to grab my... Where is it? Sorry. Just to get ready. I'm also giving you a chance to add any last-minute questions. Lola Bola retracted her message. What is it? I didn't see it. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to say goodbye and ask any last-minute questions. Bumped around for eons. Yes, I believe that. What is that weird noise outside? Is that... I think something's playing a sound. Maybe it's windy outside. Or maybe my neighbor is out there doing something. Okay, let's see here. The ore moved to... Okay, I see what you mean. Truth is not temporary. Yeah, is it ore? Well, let's talk about that a little more. You know, in the modern day mines, you've got all sorts of stuff. You've got... I'm going to go back to the one I showed during Jimmy because I love it so much. It's right here, easy to find. And this is a diamond mine in Lesotho called the Letsung or Letsung Diamond Mine. There's a police station right there. You know, you got to have your police stations when you hire people to take diamonds out of your mine, because some of them are going to try to steal them. So we've got this strip mines where they get this stuff out of, and then they process it over here. Now, some of that stuff's valuable, right? So when they get it out of there, they're not going to throw it over here. Obviously, that's the dumping grounds. And look at the mountains they've created from that. Basically, these two pits, there's always water at the bottom too, by the way. So I don't really understand that. I guess they use water to move the material. There's a great series called Mined Earth. I'd love to talk to that guy, but he seems to have gone radio silent. So these are the processing centers. Not sure why it works like this, these dump trucks. You don't see any place where they dump it. So maybe there's a pipe that sends the slurry out. And maybe there's a collection point where they take the slurry and they process it some more. Or maybe it goes directly here before it goes in here. But they've got to crush it up. So they're crushing these rocks up. These are diamonds they're looking for. So they're crushing it up. They're putting it into, I guess, a leaching tank. Look how cool that color looks. I wonder if they add some chemicals or if that's the natural color. I doubt it's the natural color. But so that material gets processed and then it comes out. They take what they want and they dump what they don't. And that has created these mountains over here. The very top layer, you can see the dump truck dumps that are 20 feet wide. But then they also take what's that? That's very interesting. Kind of weird that they put that little bit of whatever right out there in the middle of nowhere. But then they smooth it out so they can they can't dump on top of a bunch of these what do you call it? When you get goosebumps, or when you get the hives, or some type of a layer of bumps on your skin, or whatever that. I don't think I've ever gotten the hives before, but I do get goosebumps sometimes. It's been a few years. I just got goosebumps just thinking about getting goosebumps. Okay, all right. Basically, to answer your question about that, is they made the Poopy Mountains. They made the Poopy Mountains. Yes, we're almost there. So, thank you so much, guys. I don't see any new questions, although I'm sure that I missed one. I don't know why Lola Bola's message was retracted, but maybe you can, once I finish this video, please go ahead and comment down below if you have any further questions, and I'll respond down below. So keep on chatting, folks. Keep on chatting. Right, see? We knew this wasn't going to work. I was trying to get it to come up over here, and it came up over there, and it doesn't have any volume. That's the life, folks. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace out, guys. Thank you. I'm still looking at... I'll type. Bye-bye.